Hello class, today we'll be doing your IS 2010 Guided Lab 7. To find this assignment, go to your week 9 module and select your Guided Lab 7 assignment. The skills we'll be going over in this assignment is find and clear data validation settings, set validation criteria with an error alert, insert a spin box form control, protecting your worksheet, stack column charts, scatter plots, line charts, and then creating heat maps. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and download your worksheet as always. Go ahead and open it up. Go ahead and make sure you save it to the correct file name. So go ahead, oops, cancel, save as. Save. And then you should be ready to begin. Starting out with step 1, let's go ahead and look at our agents tab and look over what we have here. We have 6 different agents here. We have their last name, their first names, they have IDs, they have a hire dates, and they have a phone number. Okay. What we want to do here is that we want to make sure if there's any data validation within the sheet. So I want to go to editing, find and select, go to special, and then select data validation. Go ahead and press OK. And we should see that there are no data validation cells within this worksheet. So go ahead and press OK. And we're ready to move on to the next step. We want to go to our comparison worksheet. From here now, we should do the exact same steps we did before to check if there's any data validation. Go to editing, find and select, go to special, go ahead and press data validation, and go ahead and press OK again. We should see now that we have cells highlighted that do have some data validation applied to them. To check what their rules are, let's go ahead and go to Data, main menu, go to Data Validation, which is right here. Go ahead and click that. We should pop up with this window right here, and we see that it has these settings attached. We do not want these settings, so go ahead and press Clear All in the bottom left. There we go. The next thing we want to do is that we want to make sure that we have the cells C9 to C12, yep, H9, yep, H11, H13, H14, and H16 selected, which is all correct, before we get started. If you don't have these cells highlighted, go ahead and close this box and go ahead and highlight the cells and get to this part right here. If you are at this step, let's go ahead and move on. Go to the Allow drop-down menu. Go ahead and select decimal. For data, we want to go ahead and select greater than or equal to. For minimum, we want to make sure that nothing negative can enter. So go ahead and press OK. Oh, it's never. Don't press OK. We want to then go to error alert. We want to go to title, type in required. Error message, we want to type, please enter a positive value with a period. Let it press OK. And we could go ahead and test these cells. Let's go ahead to cell C11. Go ahead and type in a negative number. We should see that it doesn't work. It's going to pop up with our window that we just created. Let's go ahead and close that. And let's go ahead and make sure that we can enter in a positive number. And we can. We can go ahead and validate this again over here. I'm going to do a negative number once again. And we see that the window does pop up again. Go ahead and X that out. And we know that this does work. Okay. Next thing we want to do is that we want to make sure that we have the developer main menu ribbon up above. I have it here, but if you don't have it, go to File, go to Options, go to Customize Ribbon, go to Developer over on the main tabs on the right side. Make sure that it's highlighted with a green checkbox. Go ahead and press OK. And you should now have the developer main menu. We want to go ahead and insert a spin button, but before we do, go to View, go ahead and select grid lines, go back to developer. Okay, next what we want to do is that we want to insert in our spin button. So go ahead and go to the controls category, go to insert, go to the spin button right here, go ahead and insert it on cell I-21. Go ahead and format it. If for some reason you click off your button and unable to edit it, go ahead and right click and you should be able to edit the formatting once again. Once we have formatted this button to this correct spot, we want to go ahead and format the controls of the button. So go ahead and right click on the button, format control. And now we want to go ahead and edit these properties. So min value is 1. Our maximum value is going to be 8. And our cell link to what we're going to display our button is H22. Go ahead and press OK. Make sure 3D shading is selected. And you go ahead and test our button. Seems like our button does work. Let's go ahead and move on to our next step, which is inserting an index formula. So to start out, we want to go ahead and go to our formulas tab, main menu, go to lookup and reference, go to index, make sure that we have array, row, num, column num selected, go and press OK. For our array, we want to go ahead and display our agents. So go to our agents tab, go ahead and select A2 through A7. Our row num, go ahead and select our cell H22 and go ahead and press OK. We should see now that we have our names popping up for our button. Okay, moving on. We now want to go ahead and protect the worksheet for data entry. We want to go to the Find and Select button. So go to Home, Editing, Find and Select, and choose Data Validation. So go ahead and go back to Code Special, Data Validation, go ahead and press OK. Next thing we want to do is that we want to go ahead and select the cells D4 through E4, H22, and H23. So H22, and E22. E22. Okay. Next thing we want to do is that we want to go ahead and click the Format button. So go to Cells, Format. And then next thing we want to do is make sure that we unlock these lock properties. So go ahead and press that button. And we just see now that the cells are unlocked. Next thing we want to do is that we want to delete the contents of C9, C10, H9, and H16. Okay. Next thing we want to do is that we want to go to cell D4, and we want to go ahead and change our grid lines back off. Now we want to go ahead and protect the worksheet. So go to the Review tab, go to Protect Sheet, and we want to make sure that we allow the options to select locked and unlocked cells. Let's select locked cells, select unlocked cells, and then make sure that we don't have a password. Go ahead and press OK. Next thing we want to do is that we want to enter in these values here. So in cell C9, go ahead and type in 550,000. Next thing we want to do is 275,000. Next thing we want to do is H9 is 4,800. Go. So H11, we want to type in 75,000. Then in cell H13, we want to type in 3.15. And then in cell H16, 1,200. There we go. Next thing we want to do is make sure that we click the spin box control arrows to 3 as selected. So go ahead and select to 3. Oh, seems like there's a glitch with my button. So if you are unable to switch it, go ahead and right click, format control, and just go ahead and change the current value to 3. Don't worry, this is just something with Excel. It is nothing wrong with your button. Okay. Next thing we want to do is that we want to create a stack column chart. So let's go ahead and go to our stack columns worksheet, and let's go ahead and enter in a stack column. Go ahead and select your cells A3 through E7. Go to Insert. Go to the drop-down menu for our bar chart. Go ahead and select stack column. And now the next step we need to do is just format it to look like the picture right here. So first thing I'm going to do here is go ahead and change the name. So product story. Yep. Next thing I want to do is I want to add titles. So let's go ahead and do these two. Yep. Here, you import you to payments type. Then another thing we want to do is that we want to move this index to the right. So I'm going to double click, right click. I'm going to format the legend. And then I'm going to make sure that it's on the right side. There we go. Bring this up. There we go. Next thing I want to do, I want to go ahead and change the background. So to quickly add in these numbers here, I can select one of the styles that do have numbers. Let's see. This one here, and then I can go ahead and select this one here to have it formatted like that, which is great. Now, the last thing we need to do is that we want to insert these trend lines. So go ahead and go to add element charts. We want to add in lines. Go to series lines, and there we go. Next thing we want to do is that we want to change the color. Go ahead and double click on one of these lines. Go. Now we can just change the color here to that blue. That looks good. There we go. We have formatted our chart to look like the picture. Next step we want to do is that we want to go to our line charts worksheet and now add our graph. This should be easy. Go ahead and select your cells A4 through B16. I'm going to go to insert, go to line graph. Really simple. Go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to format to look like this. So I want to change the name of this. Sales. Title. And change this to month. This one over here. And name it sales. There we go. Next thing we want to do is that we just want to change the design to be like that, and that looks good. Next step, we want to create a two-line chart graph. So go ahead and select our data for A20, C32, this one here, there, again, change the name. Is that we want to add in our titles, sales, this one here, all this one month, go over to the middle, go. Next thing I want to do, format this, format the legend, move it to the right, go, and go ahead and move this now. There, good. Next thing we want to do is that we want to change the design to that one right there. Oh, looks like this moved. Okay, there we go. Moving on to the last worksheet, we want to work on heat maps. We want to go ahead and select our data for B4 through E15. We want to go to conditional formatting in the home main menu, go to color scales, and I'm going to pick this one right here so I can easily answer the question 1 and question 2 below. Okay. Question 1, based on the heat map, which region/month indicates the highest dollar value? I'm going to look at my heat map and I'm going to see which one has the highest green gradient, which is south in December. So I'm going to type in south in December. Based on the heat map, which region/month indicates the lowest dollar value? I'm going to look up above, look at the one that has the greatest red gradient, which is east in January. So east. Nope. Just like that, we should be done with our Excel worksheet. Go ahead and save your file. Go ahead and close, and we should be ready to upload. So let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and choose your file. To do that, go ahead and submit the assignment, and we are done. Okay. Hope you guys follow this guided lab step by step, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching.